Hello, wonderful folks. Welcome to another edition of Women to Watch, a program where we celebrate, gist, and hang out with wonderful women who are doing well, influencing the world, the society, and the whole of the country. And don't forget, you can share this clip, comment, and of course, ask your friends to subscribe. So once again, I'm Hilda Elias, and you're watching Women to Watch. Welcome back. You're still on Women to Watch, and without further ado, I'll just go straight to the point. On this edition, I have a lovely woman of God with me in the studio. She's rightly equipped to do what, and she's been a counselor for over 2 decades. She's been counseling people when it comes to marriage, relationship, and I felt she's really been doing a good job. And she's also the co-pastor of the Equipping Church. I'm talking about no one else but Pastor Mrs. Bisi Folarin. You're welcome to the studio, ma'am.
Thank you so much for having me this morning.
All right. Thank you. Thanks so much for honoring us as Women to Watch Flip TV. Okay, I just gave the audience a brief biography about you, but I'm sure they want to know more. So can you just tell us a little more about yourself?
Okay. My name is Bisi Folarin, as rightly introduced. I'm a marriage and relationship coach. And then I'm married with 3 kids. Like it's been said, I co-pastor a church with my husband, and then I have a marriage academy that I run. I also have other platforms where I express God's gift and calling upon my life, from time to time. So.
All right, thank you so much for that. So I would like to know the beginning, because definitely there's a beginning for everything. How did this start? I know you didn't just wake up one morning and say, okay, I want to be a relationship coach or a marriage counselor. So how did it start?
Well, I wouldn't quite say it started in that sense. It was more of a discovery. Okay, so towards the latter part of my teenage years, I just began to get interested in the subject of marriage, relationship. At that time, my parents had started having issues, so I'd always made up my mind that, I'm not going to be part of the statistics. That was something that really was ingrained in my mind from late teenage years. And then when I began to see late Pastor Bimbo Jukoy of Blessed Memory, she's a mentor. I began to follow her, and each time I looked at her, I just saw, I can do this. This is what I'm supposed to do. Something connected. So she was the first representation of, that showed me what it was I was supposed to be doing and what direction, So further discovery led me to know that, this is what you're called to do. This is your, your call. And that's what you're passionate about. So I think it was from then on, it started.
Okay. That's a nice one. So let's know the journey so far. How has it been? How many lives have you been able to impact?
Well, if I want to put a figure to it, that would be a bit difficult. But I think I've been doing relationship ever since that time. And by the time I was in 200 level in university, I hosted my first relationship program where I brought in inspiring couples, like 4 of them from Lagos and then 2 from Ibadan then, to speak to ladies and those that were in courtship in the University of Ibadan then. And then after that, a marriage school came up by somebody I respected so much then, and I felt the Holy Spirit leading me to go and meet her, to submit to her so that she could mentor me. Funny enough, she asked me to enroll in the marriage school I learned, and she was graduating and said the Lord asked her that, to let me know that I will be assisting the main person there. And I was like, wow. I only came to learn, and I'm finding myself in the lead. And so she was like, sorry, she doesn't have, that's the final one she got from God. And whether I was ready to take it or not, she was done. She had left it in my care. So I was saddled with that responsibility to also train other younger women concerning marriages. So that was a 300 level. So I've been doing this from school.
Okay. Yes, just like we learned
for
2 decades.
And my husband, we pastor our own church now, but we've been, we've served on the churches, and that's because that's my area of strength. That's where I'm always put. I'm in charge of the couples fellowship, the singles fellowship, anything that has to do with relationship. You probably would find Bisi Folarin there.
Definitely. Okay, so I would like to know, what are the challenges? Are there challenges at all, or is there ever a time you think you should just quit? Like, I don't want to do this anymore.
Never.
Okay.
There's something called the Khalil of God upon your life, as in the call of God upon your life. It really never leaves you, even when you go astray. The minute you see somebody doing what you've been called to do, there is something in you that like, wow, there's a dissatisfaction that comes. That's what I'm supposed to be doing. I can do it. So that's one of the ways you discover purpose for those who don't know how to. So each time I saw Pastor Bimbo, I saw somebody in a relationship like doing so well out there. Even when I was doing it, I just knew, wow, there's an unsettling. That's what you're supposed to be doing. So I've never felt at any time no, I shouldn't be doing this. Never.
So no challenges or discouragement at all?
Well, discouragement in the line of, getting people to come for attend meetings.
Exactly.
It's a major challenge, especially the men. And it's amazing to note that, when you speak to being a counselor and being married, and when you speak to married women, the men think they know, but when you talk to their wives, they have issues. And the men are just simply, not all of them do. Quite a number. The men are saying, what's there to learn? We know everything. And the women are saying, no, I'm not satisfied in this area. You don't know. So when you organize meetings, even the free ones, I do couples on sense. So this is the 5th year running, and this is like the last one I did 2 weeks ago was like the 15th episode, because I do one each quarter for the past 5 years. You always have a higher percentage of women attenders. Do you understand? So that's a challenge. If you're going to get the men to come, they do sure, but not as much as you will. And even generally, even the women, getting people to attend live meetings could be challenging. Not to now talk of the paid one. Like I have an academy now that's just started up this year. We've done the first batch in January. Okay, so people think, why do I need to learn about relationship? Why do I need to, pay for that knowledge? And so you say, plus free, plus paid. People are just not, they don't understand that this is not an institution you just enter into without knowing anything about it. It's a journey you've never embarked upon. Okay, and some of us have spent our lives researching, learning, practicing on this subject. So we are saying we are qualified to be of help to you. Allow us to help you. It's unfortunate that a lot do not, but when they now get on that other side of the divide of being married and they have issues, they now come back to now want to learn what they were supposed to have learned from. So for some of us here as coaches, as trainers, it's quite painful because there are a lot of avoidable things that people just decide not to learn about, and then they get into it and then they now come back to square one. So that's challenging.
Sure. So, but there's something alarming. I know there are lots of marriage counselors out there, lots of schools and relationship coaches. But one thing is still alarming: the rate of divorce in the world, in Nigeria even also. Because people you expect to stay together for long, next thing you hear that they're divorced. So, how do you think this can be reduced? Because I won't lie, I'm kind of scared of entering into marriage because of divorce.
Okay, this is what I will say. How do you stop divorce? It's such a big and ambiguous question, but I'll take it from this angle. One of the reasons, or some of the reasons why marriages end up in divorce is part of what I've just said. People do not bother to research. I want to embark on a journey. The Bible says, who takes up a job without first counting the cost. You have no idea of where you're going on this journey. You don't know what street you're going to land on, and you just want to go blindly like that. I mean, you're bound to get into trouble. You're not engaging the services of Google Map. You're not asking questions. You just feel like, no, I just find out. No, you don't just succeed in marriage. You're intentional and deliberate about it. And part of being intentional and deliberate about it is to seek knowledge, ask questions, and then for some people, while cutting, they don't look out for the red flags. They are always there. You see a man that before you say one, he has said 10. He doesn't allow you to express yourself. If you're a high flyer when he met you, he gets a bit intimidated with your success. Of course, while cutting, because your eyes are clouded, you might not see it, and he too might try to downplay. But I say the signals are always there. So those red flags that people ignore is what turns out, as that comes out full blown when they are married. Do you understand? And then one more thing, people don't look out for values. Why are you getting married? What's the reason? I mean, people have the silliest, like they say, there's this program that kids say the damnedest thing. When you listen to full-blown adults, why did you get married? They say some of the damnedest things, and you just like, really? You're not looking out for values. Okay, I like her, I like him, she has money, and that's it. But when you get married, I've seen women that I know. There's one I know that lives in a 6-bedroom mansion. Used to, because they're divorced now. He beat her and broke her clavicle. And he didn't even allow her leave the house. She had to beg the gate man, whom she had a rapport with, to get her an Uber, or was it an Uber, to take her straight to her mom's house in Ibadan. She got to her mom's house with a broken clavicle, a shoulder blade, from a man. But people see her and admire her. She rides a jeep. She lives in a 6-bedroom duplex in Lekki. Do you understand? But you begin to ask, so what were the things that attracted you to this guy? Somehow they are indicators. So people ignore the red flags. People don't have a solid reason why they are going into marriage. They don't research out. They don't just do the necessary things. And people don't don't inquire from God, who is also the author of marriage, about, who am I supposed to roll with? Because God will always show you things. He will show you things.
Sure. Okay, I wanted to ask, what kind of advice will you give to the future wives, ladies that will get married to more boys? Like you almost said it all with just what you said right now. You're giving them more than enough clues.
Well, one more thing I'd like to say, it's not just the wives that should be prepared. That is a mindset that has to be disabused. In fact, our men have to be raised to be husbands. You see, the average woman, right from, especially I don't know about, let me speak for my culture, Yoruba, the average woman from her young age is being taught, being primed to be a wife. Behave yourself. You serve your father and say, let me speak for you. Is this how you're going to serve your husband? That's pushing back and your money. That's how it's going to your husband's house. Do you get? But nobody is talking to the men. So it's not just about priming the women. I say that the average woman is already primed for marriage. Culturally, of course, there are other things that they need to learn. But the average girl out there is already primed. She's so conscious she's marriage conscious. So what happens is that most times a well-prepared woman, a good woman goes into marriage and meets a man that's not prepared. He doesn't have the foggiest idea. So she's making all the effort. He can't meet her halfway. That's where the frustration starts. So I don't say we should put the pressure on how do we teach our young women. We should also teach our young men, to also learn about marriage. That's why I advocate. When you have either free praying or free events, men should also learn. You don't know everything. You, as counselors and coaches, the things we hear from women, you will be shocked. Some men don't even know their wives' love languages. As simple as that. And as little things as that causes problem in marriage. Sure. Some men don't even know what takes their wife in the bedroom. And they feel sex is not to enter, just enter and come outside. No, it's beyond enter and come out. There are dynamics to a woman's body and it makes us feel. So I advocate that both men and women should learn. And how do we help women? Women should also learn to look out in a proposed spouse. What are your desires? What are you looking out for? What does the Bible say about marriage? Do you know how a man is supposed to treat you? Do you know some women don't even know how a man, so anything goes is acceptable. The Bible says the man should love you as Christ loved the church. That's a big and a huge responsibility. Some women don't even know that they're supposed to be loved to that extent. Do you understand? So women and men should learn about the institution of marriage, ask questions, read books, expose yourself, know what it is you're going into. Don't enter blindly. It's simply unpardonable in this day and age with so much information staring you in the face. You open the internet, there's one coach or the other talking. There are books, people are writing books every day on this subject. So people should learn. You don't, successful marriages don't just happen, people make them happen. And informed people make it happen.
Alright. Thank you so much, man. Alright guys, you've heard it all. Well, first, or should I say lastly, before we sign out, I want to ask this question, just the last one. I'm so sorry. And it's because my friend asked me the question. I was so confused. I was like, babe, I'm not a relationship expert. I don't really know what to say. She said she's been friends with a guy for over 2 years and they are quite close. Like she tells him everything about her, both her good side, her bad side, and he too tells him everything about her. She's really comfortable with this guy. But she doesn't have romantic feelings for him and he wants a relationship with her. Apart from that, she's even also scared and wary of entering another relationship because of her past failed relationships. So she's asking for advice because she also doesn't want to lose this guy as a friend. So she doesn't know if she should tell him off or really go into the relationship.
Okay, let me ask, has he proposed to her formally that he wants a beyond a friendship that they've been,
Yeah, that's what she said. He has told her that.
Okay, in answer to that, I will answer this way. First and foremost, I think both men and women should realize that when you're in a relationship, a friendship, the minute it crosses that and it becomes more intimate, there should be definitions in relationships. I mean, at what point a relationship crosses from just friendship to, wow, we're getting more intimate? You should keep asking questions because it's wrong for you to assume, okay, I like her, she likes me, we have crossed the line. So I assume the guy is thinking they're on the same page, and they are obviously not. So I'll first of all, before answering that question, please, when you're in a relationship, always define the boundaries. What are we doing? Are we just friends or we are actually in a proper relationship? Do you understand? So that nobody gets hurt. Now for your friend, I think she's dealing with so many issues here. Okay, if she were here, I would probably, as a coach or as a counselor, ask her more questions. But because she's not here, let me just work with the information you have given me. So I'd say, first of all, you have fears from your past relationship that you haven't dealt with. And if you know, I mean, you've stayed with somebody for 2 years, relationship crossed from just being friends, and you're saying you tell him everything, he's your best friend, and now he's saying, okay, let's take it a notch higher, and you're saying you don't have feelings for him. I'm a bit confused because he sends a signal to me that she's a bit confused as well. So I see somebody who is scared. The major is sounding to me like the underlying factor is scared. She's in fear. Probably she's been jilted or mistreated. So she's just safe and comfortable with unburdening her heart to this guy. But she must realize that if this guy is saying, look, my own emotions are fully involved now and you don't want to do, I think she should come up plain and tell me, you know what, guy, I don't have that kind of feelings for you. And I think they should have crossed this bridge before now. Okay. Because as a woman, you will always know when a guy has gone past, she's just my friend. Right. When he begins to get really, really emotionally attached to you, you won't know. So I think she should just make it plain to him. You know what, guy, I'm sorry. I don't have such feelings for you. I just want us to be friends. But the caveat she's not putting is what is leaving me confused here. You still don't want to lose them. Yeah, there's something she's still not dealing with here. You don't want something deep, or you don't want to lose him. Something deep is already involved because it's apparently somebody that you've been sharing a lot of deep things with. So what are we talking about? So ideally, I would even say, you're my sister. I hope you're not sending your future husband away all in the name of friendship because there's an inner face she has not dealt with. So if she has a coach or a counselor around her, I think it will be good for her to just go have a talk therapy with that person so that they will be able to help her unravel the deeper issues. There are deeper issues with her, or else it will keep stalling her from entering into a wholesome relationship. Okay, so I also think it's a good thing that she doesn't want to. So it means she needs to be whole and healed herself.
Alright, thank you very much, ma'am, for that advice. So my dear people, you've heard it all. If you want to know more or if you need more advice, you can contact Pastor Mrs. Bisi Folarin through her social media handles or through her phone number. It's on the screen right now. So thank you very much for watching, and don't forget you can also share this clip. Keep subscribing to Flip TV. Advise your friends to subscribe, your loved ones, and well, stay blessed, keep rocking. I'm Hilda Elias, signing out.